Good evening, you're watching The Big Story with me, Haryanto Diman. Subscribe to the Straits Times channel so you will not miss an episode. Singapore's lowest paid retail workers will see their wages increase from September 1st under the progressive wage model. The government today accepting a series of recommendations made by a task force of employers, workers and officials as part of efforts to boost the income of low-wage earners. The PWM for retail will cover 46,000 full-time and part-time retail assistants, cashiers and supervisors who are Singaporeans or PRs. Now, those at the entry level will see their monthly wages move up by 18% over the next 3 years. That is from a baseline wage of $1,850. To help retailers cope with the increase in costs, the government will provide transitional wage support for employers. The PWM has already been implemented for cleaners, security guards, landscape workers and those in lift and escalator maintenance.
Certainly this is a landmark PWM, and we're heartened that the Tripartite movement has continued to push for breakthroughs within the progressive wage model. And certainly this being retail PWM will be one of the largest PWMs that we are launching, with about 46,000 workers being covered. And certainly, if you look at the advancements, I think it's quite good, with 18% growth over 3 years, 2024. And we see a good traction, especially this being our first PWM that is an unregulated sector. So I have to thank both the labour movement and employers for giving us such strong support, especially in times where we recognise that companies are certainly trying to grapple as the economy recovers, and as well at the same time facing inflationary pressures.
Joining me now is Scanteak CEO Jamie Lim, who is a member of the Tripartite Cluster for retail that presented the proposals announced today. Welcome to the show, Jamie. What do these recommendations under the retail progressive wage model mean for an employer like Scanteak? Are you concerned about higher wages adding to your business costs?
Thank you for having me. And yes, there is an inflationary movement lately that all the cost is going up, and to have an even higher wage cost is definitely something to be concerned about. However, I'm trying to looking at the bright side of things is that it's happening on a global scale. If it's just our country or our retail industry specifically, then there would be a problem. But as it rains, we're all affected, we're all getting wet. So how I'm looking at this is that with the shortage of manpower being a real issue, wages will go up anyways. And with this PWM, at least we get government subsidies and supports to help us with this increasing wage. And with that support, we might even be able to offer more competitive wages to attract more employees. I would rather have a slightly higher cost than have to close my shops because I cannot find the manpower.
And Jimmy, what are some of the challenges that you foresee in implementing these proposals?
I'll speak on the business side. We do not know what we don't know, but from the initial times, we actually spoke, my HR and a lot of retail HR has actually been working closely with the government to make sure that the process is smooth. My HR, when they first heard about it, they were a bit concerned because they don't know what is expected of them. But of course, we know that with time, things will improve. I have to also add that there might be some challenges because we have worked with the government to make sure that PWM is smoothened over a 3-month basis, which means that the progressive wage model can be taken an average of 3 months. And that is because retail is seasonal. Chinese New Year, you buy more, certain times you buy less. So with that smoothening, I think it helps businesses. But with that smoothening, it also adds a little bit more complexity to how the HR implementation might be. But we are still working closely with the various government agencies to try to make this process as seamless for everyone, including myself.
And do you think these recommendations will help in attracting more local talent to join the retail industry?
I certainly hope so, because right now, retail desperately need manpower. If you go down to malls, it is not uncommon to see a shop closing because the staff or employee needs to go to the bathroom or need to go have a lunch or dinner break. So that can be disruptive. I hope that with this PWM, that the public will know, or potential people who wants to join the industry will know that this is now regulated and closely watched by the government. And with this will actually be a good career opportunity and prospect for those who are considering retail as a career. And we hope that Singapore's retail industry can continue to be vibrant and boom, because we all love to shop and it's an important part of our lives.
Jamie, thank you for your time and perspectives. Jamie Lim there, Scanteak CEO. 6 trainee lawyers who cheated in the 2020 bar examinations withdrew their applications today to be called to the bar. Their admission applications were earlier adjourned by 6 months to a year by the High Court. Their respective counsels said they have realized that the adjournment period will not be sufficient for them to show that they are fit and proper to be admitted as lawyers. Now, no time was set as to when the 6 can reapply to the bar again. Law and Home Affairs Minister Shanmugam has commented on the case of the couple allegedly linked to a luxury goods scam involving undelivered items worth $32 million. Posting on Facebook a short while ago, Mr. Shanmugam says the matter will now be dealt in the courts. He stresses, quote, 1, if you've committed an offence, you are likely to be caught. 2, when you are arrested, if you are guilty, then the facts are likely to be found and presented, and you are likely to be found guilty. And 3, you are then likely to serve the sentence. P. Chiapeng and Thai national Pansuk Siriwipa are suspects in a series of alleged cheating cases and had fled Singapore on July 4th, but were arrested in Malaysia and returned here on August 11th. They were charged the next day. Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong will deliver his National Day rally speech this Sunday evening at the ITE headquarters in Ang Mo Kio. The rally will be broadcast on local television channels and radio stations and live streamed on PM Lee's Facebook page. Now, you can also follow live coverage on the Straits Times' website, Facebook and YouTube pages. A quick look at the global headlines. China's military carried out further drills near Taiwan today as a group of US lawmakers visited the island and met with President Tsai Ing-wen. The People's Liberation Army's Eastern Theatre Command says it has organized multi-service joint combat readiness patrols and combat drills in the sea and airspace around the island, and that the exercises are a stern deterrent as the US and Taiwan continue their political tricks and undermine peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait. India celebrates its 75th year of independence today. Now, speaking at the historic Red Fort in Delhi, where the celebration took place, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said India will aim to become a developed nation within 25 years, with policies to support domestic production in power, defense and digital technology. He also called the youth to aim big and give their best years for the cause of the country. Those are top stories today. Visit straitstimes.com for more news and our YouTube channel for more videos. Subscribe by hitting the red button below. I'm Haryanto Diman. See you tomorrow for more stories on The Big Story.